Hello everybody, welcome back. Today I'm going to be adding my switch for my new exhaust fan in the shower, and we're going to be tying it into the existing light. I'll turn the camera around here in a minute and show you everything. And you can take this lesson depending on where you live. If you live in a trailer, you're almost going to be in the same situation I'm in. If you live in a house with an attic above it, you can eliminate a couple of these steps. Well, one of the steps that's going to be down here, you can do it in the attic, or you can change boxes out. There's different ways you can do it. This is just the way that I decided to do it. So it's going to get started and show you what I'm going to do, and then we will get into the process of getting it done. Alright, so I've got an existing switch here. You might remember from previous video that I worked on, and I'm thinking that at one time when you came in this door, hit this switch and turn this light on, because over here at the bedroom there's another door with a switch there that I was thinking would turn that light on. It's kind of, they're just single switches, they're not three-way switches. So kind of weird, but you know, again, you got to remember this was back in 1982. So I have traced this wire out, cannot find it. Thought it went to the light fixture, didn't go there. Thought it went to the overhead light above me here, and it did not go there. So I have no idea where it is. So but there is no power on it, so we don't have to worry about that. But I'm probably going to put it in this new box here, so that way it won't just be hanging in the wall. So what we're going to do is take this switch off. I'm going to fish a wire down the wall. I've already got this one here. This is going over to my fan. I'm going to have to cut a box in right here. I'm going to have to fish my wire over to here, just one wire. The reason I'm going to do it like that is this box is already plumb packed full of wire. So just putting one more wire in there is going to be a task. I'll show you in a second how I'm going to have to do that. So like I said, I'm going to cut a box in here. We will have a hot neutral switch leg for the light, the existing light coming over here, going down the wall with a 3-wire. I'll show you here. I have a 3-wire. This white wire is going to become my hot wire. And let's just say for giggles here, for a video, that black is going to be switch leg going back to my fan and light in my shower. And this is going to be the switch leg for my light fixtures in here. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to drill a hole in the side of this light and fish my wire from there over to my new box, which should not be too bad, except for there's a little piece of wood here. Everywhere you see one of these slats in the ceiling, that's where piece of wood is. But the wood is only about that thick. It's not very thick at all. So I could actually reach over top of it. So I'm going to attempt to drill my hole that way, or I may just drill it that way and reach over. Might be easier. I don't know. So we're going to get started here, and I will try to explain as I'm going on, but it might just be best with the room in this bathroom just to try to film what's going on. And I just wanted to show how these old switches were designed for the trailers back in the 80s. It's kind of just had this back plate on it. Kind of like a crimp. So you put your wires in there, and then just put that on there and it will crimp down on it. I'm still going to take a couple minutes here after I get this disconnected and see if somehow I can find out if this is going up to the ceiling light. Reason being is I'd love to be able to utilize this wire here. Okay, what we're going to do here is put our switch, our new switch box. I want to utilize this part of this hole. So for now, I'll show this wire back in here. What's going to happen is we're going to mark our hole on this part of the box, and of course the sides, and on this part of the box. So after you cut your hole, it'll be this diameter, and then wherever you put it in the wall, start turning the screws. These ears come down, and then when you start screwing it in, it catches against your drywall, or in this case, paneling board. So I'll put it up here like this, line it up. Looks like it lines up pretty good. Alright, there's kind of what it's going to look like. Alright, there's what my box will look like when it's done in the wall. So now we'll take it back out so we can fish our wire down. Alright, you see I got my box cut in for right there. Now we'll go here to the right where the wall and the ceiling meet, tap around and see if I can tell if there's a top plate on that wall, which I know in theory there should be, but maybe with the old trailers it's not. Make it a little easier on me. I can still get it done, but I may have to drill 2 holes there instead of 1 in the wall and ceiling. Okay, I tapped up here by the ceiling, as you can tell. Hear how solid that sounds. Then it gets hollow. So there is a top plate there. So what I'm going to have to do, these are just going to be, it's just access to feed my wire down. I'm not going to be splicing anything. So I'm going to use what's called I call it a data ring. This is when you cut a hole in the wall for data wire, and you just bring it out the wall and put your data jack on. So I'm going to use that, and then we'll have a blank plate on there. Now later, if my wife wants to, we can come back, you know, and drywall this, patch it with drywall if you want. But all we got to do is take this back out. It can come back out. It's no big deal. Okay, everybody. I forgot to film. Well, I got my wire pushed across the ceiling. Really wasn't bad at all. Got it. I ended up pulling my other wire out. It was coming down through a hole already, and I've got several pieces of Romex coming across the ceiling right there, going over to my furnace area. So instead of drilling up through the ceiling and taking that chance, I just pulled that existing old black wire out. It's not hot. Taped it off really good, and it'll be right there if I ever need to expose it anyway. Alright, my battery went dead. So, pick up, I think, where I left off. I fished my wire across the ceiling and down. Well, now you can see I've finished. Here's what the finished looks like with the 2 plates on it. And like I said, in other applications, if you have an attic, or if you want to patch the walls with drywall, mud, tape, you do that. As you can see, our walls are already in bad shape right now from when we moved in, we're probably going to put where we put this board on, painted it the color. Here it is without paint on it. So we'll probably put this around the whole bathroom eventually. So that's what that looks like. Now I'm going to move down, put my box in the wall with my switches, and then we'll come up here, put my box in, drill my hole and feed the wire across here. And then we'll be finishing it up and have everything working. Alright. I always break those out. It's just easier. Makes it easier. This wire is not very long just because I needed all the slack I can get up top. So I can splice on these wires here as much as I want. Alright. Now, I don't recommend using like a drill or anything to tighten these because of just plastic, and they'll strip out real easy. And they can be a booger to get tight. It's not easy though. These are not going to cooperate at all. Huh. These are not cooperating at all. Go figure. Huh? Go figure. Just can't get a $3 box sort of thing anymore. Alright. I picked a good time to film, didn't I? Yeah, just fell down on the wall. How about that? It's amazing. See if I can get it in there like that. Let me see if I can fix this one. I mean, that's almost destroyed. Lord mercy. I know this makes for riveting filming, doesn't it? Figuring out what part of the problem is. Part of the problem is where this is so thin, they're not wanting to tighten up all the way instead of it being drywall. That's why it still don't come out of the wall. That's all the way in. So what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to get me a couple drywall screws or wood screws. Put it in like that. Probably been in front of the camera the whole time, ain't I? So let's go get us a couple screws. Alright, got that in there. I take screws there into the wood. Not the right kind of screws. Figures that things wouldn't go right. We'll make it work though. Yeah, put the switches in. Okay. Just going to show you the wiring here real quick. We have the hot coming in, which we have the 3-wire coming in. Has a white, red, black, and a copper wire that is bare. That's the ground. And in this application here, bringing this wire down to the switch box, we need a hot and 2 switch legs. This will be for the fan, that'll be for the light. So the white is going to become the hot wire. Usually you take these up. This is my house, I know what's what, so I'm not worried about it. So you would tape this white up to indicate that it's a hot wire instead of a neutral. Because normally your white wire is a neutral. So we pigtailed two wires off of here. One color, it doesn't matter to me. Again, it's my house. I know what's what. So white wire here hot, and this black wire is hot, and then your 2 switch legs. And when you a couple of things on here, there is a slot on the back right there, a hole that you can poke you strip your wire out to about a 1/2 inch long, and you can poke it in there and not put it around the screw like I have. But I have found that over the many years I've been in the trade, I've done many a service call where those wires over time, they don't have a real tight fit, and they will eventually, well, not all the time, but they can burn in two. And usually it's going through the wall and receptacle circuits, and you have to go through the whole circuit to figure out what's wrong. And cost, if you call me out to your house, that could cost you a lot of money. So I always put everything around the screws, and I run your righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. So when you make your loop on your wire, as you can see the back side of it there, I go from the bottom. That way when you tighten it up, it's kind of bringing that wire in, instead of if I went the other way, you have a tendency to want to back it out. So, all right, now I'm going to put these in, put the cover on, and then work up here on the ceiling. All right. I finally got my wire in here. Had a problem that I suspected would happen, where my piece of wood is running right here. I had to drill my hole in the box on this side, and it was hitting on this wood. So what I had to do, I could get it to go up like this. I just couldn't get it to go that way. So I pushed it in there as far as I could, and then I took a coat hanger, because I couldn't reach it. Couldn't get my arm up in there long enough to reach in there. So I took a coat hanger, put a hook on the end, stuck it up here, and eventually hooked on to the wire and bent it back down to where I could reach it with my hand and pulled it in. And this box here, this cut-in box, it tightened up fine, because this board here is like a 1/2 inch thick, or maybe even 5/8. So it worked a lot better than the box that the switches are in. All right, so now what I'm going to do, I'm kind of close to the ceiling here, but if I'm down on the floor, I'm too far away. I'm not, let's see. Okay, I got one wire that I had tape on. You can see it here on this end and here on this end. I'm going to use that for my hot wire and my neutral wire. I need a neutral to carry through to the fan. Fan's got to have a neutral. And then, of course, hot going down the switch. And this other wire, it's just going to be my switch leg. Or both of my, yeah, just my switch leg. Because the one switch leg is going to be going all the way to the fan. So it's just got to come from the switch to this box here. So next time, next video, or shoot, I'm getting ready to hook everything up. Put it that way. So see you in a minute. Well, all right, guys, I was just doing the editing on this video and got to the recap part, and my camera messed up on me. I didn't realize it until I was in my editing. So this is almost a week later. So I'm going to do the recap now. So let me turn the camera around. All right, so remember we came from the light fixture over, had a box cut in. That wire that was hanging there going back that way, that was the going to the fan. So then we brought the wire down the wall. There's the two where I cut the wall on the ceiling down to my new switch box. We moved this light switch for the light fixtures. Used to be over right there, and it was very inconvenient because we don't use that door over there. The door has something in front of it in the bedroom, so this is the door we use. So usually leave the light on just so you don't have to go over there and turn it off. So now we got that, and so there again, it's for the light fixtures. This one here does the exhaust fan and the shower light all in one. You could do those separate, as I mentioned in the video when I was putting in the fan. But if you're in the shower, you're gonna have the light on anyway. That's pretty much the only time we'll use the fan. So, okay, so ran the switch legs back up. The one switch leg goes right straight through that junction box to the fan, and the other one goes over to the light fixture. I had a hard time getting that wire over because everywhere there's a slot there in the ceiling, that's a joist or a truss or whatever you want to call it. I don't know what they call it in these old trailers. So finally, that was the hardest part, was getting that wire, because the wire had to go up over that, which those are about 3 inches tall. They're not a full, like a regular house. Still had, it was almost right against it. I eventually got a coat hanger, put a hook on it, and was able to reach up with the coat hanger through the hole and pull the wire down to where I can get it. So the one thing that I really didn't have a choice, because I need to be up by the ceiling on the wall. But if you look over here, we have crown mounting trim starting to come around. So eventually, if I continue this board all the way around, I'm going to bring the crown molding around also. This shower, that's our shower now. It'll go away. It's going to become a closet. So I'll probably build a wall header across here, take care of everything across. So when I turn that crown molding right there, it's going to boom. It's going to hit right into the box there. So probably what I'll end up doing is wherever that plate meets the crown molding, I'll just cut that plate off and it'll be fine. Or yeah, I need to leave it that. I don't know. I could really cover that over, because it's not a junction box. It's just feeding the wire through. So if we end up to cover up these bad walls, instead of skimming everything, I may just put that beadboard all the way around here. so that'll cover that up anyway. So that'll take care of that. There, I just saw that problem right there live on camera. All right, well that's pretty much it on that. So the next video, which actually I'm probably going to start filming tomorrow, is changing my water lines over. So I'll go over that in the next video. Put a preview there. That's what the next video is. Well, I shouldn't say that really, because things always change around here. So anyway, that's the plan. Yeah, that's the plan. But it is going to be nice tomorrow. Supposed to be about 71 degrees tomorrow. 20% chance of rain in the late afternoon, early evening. So I might end up doing some yard work tomorrow. Maybe a little tractor work, but I hope to get some water lines done. So anyway, appreciate you sticking around for this video. It ended up being longer than what I thought it was going to be. But hopefully that helps people out. As I mentioned earlier in the video, this is pretty much what you have to do in a trailer because there's no access above it. If you have an attic, you wouldn't need to have any of this. You could, if you had junction boxes, you could have them up above in the attic. Wouldn't have to have anything down here. All you would have to do is drill down through your header on your wall and bring your wire down to the box that I cut in the wall. And apologize again, as I was editing. I realized I was standing in front of the camera. Really nothing I can do about it. I didn't know it was that bad, so I tried to edit those parts down to where it wasn't that long. I really didn't have nowhere else to put my camera that day, and it's just the way it worked out. This bathroom's not all that big, and it's hard to get good camera angles. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll catch you soon on the next one. God bless and have a great day, great night, or whatever time it is. And if it's at night, enjoy a good sleep. And we thank you. We love you. God bless.